Component 3 in-class questions up to question 4, and this is on nutrition. Now we've got our normal diagram of the human gut there, and we're told that the conditions in each region are different and parasites inhibit our gut, which are adapted. Okay, and we've got some pH changes. So we've got a neutral pH in the mouth, acidic, so pH goes down in the stomach. Then we've got the duodenum, where the pH rises to an alkaline level, 8.5. Further down the ileum, the pH has decreased to around a range around neutral. And then into the large intestine, the pH is the range is larger, but it's slightly more acidic than it was. So explain the cause of the following: the increase in pH in region C. So C is the duodenum, and increase. So increase means more alkaline, and we're talking about the duodenum. So more alkaline in the duodenum, and we've got this area here, we've got the gallbladder, so we're getting secretions into the duodenum from the gallbladder. So that could be one thing, and there could be some glands actually in the duodenum itself. So our main answer might be alkaline secretions. So alkaline secretions from the gallbladder. Or you might say bile or mucus and so on. Or we might mention Brunner's glands here, possibly. We might mention Brunner's glands in the duodenum. The decrease in region D. So decrease is going more acidic. So why is it getting more acidic in the ileum? So it's going from, we've got the food and we've got various secretions and enzymes. So what's going to happen to our food? Well, our nutrients are getting digested, and some of the products are more acidic, and we just need to name some of those products. So nutrients or food is digested, broken down, hydrolyzed, that sort of terminology, and into, say for example, fatty acids. And you've done an experiment where you were breaking down a food, milk, and you used phenolphthalein indicator that changed colour from pink to colourless as it got more acidic. So you've done this. We could also mention amino acids. So you should be able to do that because you've done that in your practical session. B. Using letters from the diagram, identify the regions of the alimentary canal. You'd expect to find the tapeworm. So it says using letters and identify the regions. So there must be more than one. So this has got two answers. And using your AO1 knowledge and applying it to this diagram, so it'll be just identifying, the main one is the ileum, and the duodenum is also the other place. So just the small intestine is where the tapeworm resides, and so you're getting C and D there. How is the tapeworm survived? It survives in these regions. Straightforward remembering the notes. So for example, it has a thick cuticle to withstand acidic conditions, withstands the acid conditions or alkaline conditions, acid alkali. You might mention the thick cuticle host immune system. I'll put another slash in there. Host immune system. And probably you might mention hooks, suckers on the head region to attach to the gut wall, to attach to gut wall, prevent it from being moved off by peristalsis. Part C. A little tricky bit of logical maths here. And tapeworm have 1,000 segments, each which contain male and female reproductive systems. A proglotid contain 50,000 eggs, so each one can contain 50,000, and they release 6 a day and can survive for 25 years. So why do they need to produce so many eggs? Well, a lot of them. And this is true for anything that produces a lot of eggs or a lot of young. Many of them are going to die. You imagine many of them come out of the digestive system of a human and don't go on to form new tapeworm. So many will die. And you need to have so many to increase the chance of infecting a new host. So need many to increase the chance of infecting a new host. So either of those, because it's very rare that the host is going to pick up a tapeworm, possibly from some feces. Estimate the number of eggs that could be produced by a single worm, a single one, during its lifetime. Show your workings and give your answer to 2 significant figures. So a single one, we've got the number of segments, but that's not really relevant to this. Male and female, not really too relevant. So we've got 6 proglottids each day. So we've got 6, and each one of those contains 50,000 eggs, and that's a day. We need to convert a day into 25 years. So times by 365, that's the number of days in a year, times by 25 years. So here's our trusty calculator. That one's got no numbers on it. Let's use this one. 6 times by 50,000 times by 365 times by 25 is a flipping big answer. 27375, and then 1, 2, 3, 5 zeros on it. Standard form, 2 significant figures. So I'm going to have to move this decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to put it there. So it's going to be 2.7, so 2 significants, there they are, times 10 to the 9 eggs. Part D. Explain why both humans and the tapeworm are described as being heterotrophic, but only the human is holozoic. Just definitions there. Just remembering what these definitions are. So heterotrophic, both obtain their energy, from other organisms. Both obtain energy from other organisms, breaking down organic products So we need a reason why they're both heterotrophic and holozoic. So the tapeworm, isn't holozoic, but holozoic. So, for example, humans, ingest food and digest it, whereas the tapeworm only absorbs pre-digested nutrients. It absorbs those across its body. So the human has actually done the digesting for the tapeworm. And then the last part E. Quite a lot of information here about a new animal. It tells us some information about it and then mode of nutrition in the end. So we're looking for a definition here at the end. Heterotrophic, holozoic, saprophytic, carnivore, herbivore, omnivore, all those sorts of things. That's what we need to figure out. So it's got it's got teeth, upper and lower incisors and canines. Where do we recognise those from? So upper and lower. So things like dogs, canines, they're catching food. So possibly this is a heterotrophic organism, holozoic organism, and a carnivore. So that's the information we've got so far. And sharp. Molars are sharp. Okay. There you go. Serrated edges with the rear premolars similar to the molars and strong ridges. Now that reminds me of sheep and cows with the ridged molars for grinding vegetable material. So we've got herbivore as well, some information here. So carnivore, herbivore, so it's looking like an omnivore. What about the rest of the information? Gut length is 15 meters compared to 30.8 in a sheep and 5 in a dog. So it's halfway between the sheep and the dog in gut length. The sheep being a herbivore, dog being a pure carnivore. So that ties in with our omnivore evidence. And some ratios there as well that tie in with the data. So a lot of stuff to read for 2 marks, but we're going for omnivore. Why? It has incisors and sharp premolars for biting, cutting flesh, that sort of thing. And we've got ridges in molars for grinding plant material. So that's our teeth evidence. And then so we've got teeth evidence, then we've got gut evidence. So the gut evidence is gut length is intermediate to the sheep, which is herbivore, and dog, which is carnivore. So it's intermediate. It's a little bit closer to the carnivore, but no, not going to worry too much about that. And the ratios tie in there. So the ratio is 1.13. We've got our 2 marks now, but the ratio is 1.13, which is between the sheep 1:1.25 and the dog 1:1.6. So we've thrown a bit of data in there as well. 15 marks.